Hey guys, we're going to do a quick logo tutorial. We're going to do the Uber icon. We'll start with the minimal one and then possibly we're going to add these little lines and do the background graphics as well. So what I'm going to start with is I'll go ahead and copy that image. I'm going to go into Illustrator, start a new document. For myself, what I like to start with is 600 point by 600 point. Reason being is if I go print and I click on letter, it's 612 points. So essentially, if I'm doing, what did I need to do? If I'm doing 600 point by 600 point, it's essentially right around an 8-inch logo. Right now I've got 4 artboards. I'm going to take those away, but usually what I use those artboards for is different color variations of the logo once it's complete. So let's go ahead and paste that Uber logo in here just so we've got a reference. And first thing that we do when we're looking at recreating or designing a logo off of something like this is we want to look at what shapes are there. So we can see that there's definitely a square, then a circle, then another square with rounded edges, a line here that goes through, and that's the generic or the general basis of the shape of the logo. Then what we can see here is there's a circle that connects, and it looks like it probably connected right here at the edge of this square. So each one of these goes around in a circle. And then we've got this other shape here that isn't necessarily rounded like a circle. So what I'm assuming that they did is they took the outside shape here of this icon with the rectangle with the square with the rounded edges and lined that up in the center, or where these two circles connected on each line. So a little bit more advanced, but let's just start with the simplest version here. We're going to make a square. Let's go ahead and make it, I always start black and white. So I'm going to make sure that that's centered in my artboard. Then I'm going to need a circle. So I'll take the ellipse tool, make myself a circle. That one's white. And I'm going to center that in my artboard. I know I need another rectangle for the center part. Let's go ahead and center that. Make that a little bit bigger. At any time I can grab all of my layers and center just to make sure everything's right. Okay, cool. And it looks like we got to do crosshairs centered this line here and this line here. So we're going to do that by selecting the rectangle. And then what I'm going to do is I want to go Command R. I'm going to bring up my rulers. I'll do it in points, sure. And I'm going to just come over here and snap myself my center coordinates. And then what that's going to allow me to do is then come over here and take my line tool. And let's just go ahead and go from this point, hold down Shift to this point. There's no stroke yet, so I'm not seeing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and add a white stroke. And let's start with about 5. Again, let's just make sure everything is centered. Now I can Command C, Command F. I'm going to copy that line in place, hold down Shift, and rotate that 90 degrees. Perfect. So it's coming along nicely here. And what we have is a cutout, right, where that line overlaps at this point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go Command C, Command F. I'm going to go Object, Expand. I'm going to take that line that was a fill and a stroke and now just convert it into a shape, right? But that is the whole shape. I only want half of it. Let's make it black. And then I'm going to drag that down to the center and overlap. Oh, let's just grab everything here. I'm going to kick this over. Now, it's overlapping our, let's zoom in here. It's overlapping the white line that we have underneath of it, right? When we need it to end here. So I'm going to select the rectangle and select the circle. Use my shape builder tool and hold down Option and delete that little section here. We need the rectangle to be above all that, so I'm going to go Arrange, Bring to Front. Let's go ahead and zoom back out to 66. All right, so that is coming along nice. So it looks like, let's look at this Uber logo. It's kind of a rasterized version here, but yeah, so it looks like that just because we can see the pixels and how they rasterize, there's rounded corners on that center center rectangle. So let's go back down to 66, move that out of the side. So what I'm going to do is maybe jump back to maybe 150. My little screen record thing here in the way. All right, and I'm going to slide over and we're going to put some corners to that center rectangle, right? So we don't need it that round, so we're going to adjust it out, and it looked like it was just pretty minor. Let's go like 2 points. Perfect. And then what we also had was a rounded icon rectangle, if you will, around the outside. So let's go ahead and figure out what looks good there. Let's try 10. No, that's not enough. Let's try 20. That's pretty darn close. You know, and then also when I was looking back at those Uber logos, you know, in this version, you know, it's got sharp edges and it's square. I've seen some other versions where it seems like the outside has been rounded more or less, but actually this one's just simple vector, right? That's about the curve we're looking for. So let's go back in here. Yeah, we're right about right. So probably about 20 points. Perfect. All right. So the next bit of business is we need to look at, okay, how are we going to do these lines here? So again, I talked about circles matching up. And so like this circle here is smaller than this circle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate Control C, Control F. I'm going to duplicate this circle to be bigger estimatedly. And what I'm going to do is turn the fill layer off and turn a stroke layer on. I'm just going to pick a grayish color here. And we'll do it like a, we know we did this line here at 5 points. So, and these lines seem to be thinner than that. So let's maybe put it at like 3 points. Perfect. Center all of that. And like we said, it looked like the circle would have aligned probably right here close to the edge of the rectangle. So I'm going to grab my circle and hold down Shift and intersect it with that line. We're going to pause and start a new recording.